Hey Rip, how's it going? Where am I headed? I don't know. We're just trying to find some world PvP. Hey Nix, how's it going? Go to Gurubashi. You could definitely do that. 1 second. Sorry, that probably just blew some eardrums. Has been trolling his club chat in the Badlands. If you want mass PvP, why are they in the Badlands? What's up, SD? Kick, how's it going? What's the most retarded class to duel at 30? I don't know. I haven't really had much. Like, first off, I don't have all my gear yet. So it's kind of hard to say because I run out of mana pretty fast. But I think Warlock's going to be hard. I dueled Tips and Zulace here just recently, and I don't think I'm going to have too much trouble winning versus Warrior. I think Tips Out is actually a really good dueler. And I don't think I'll have much trouble with him once I have like engineering and I have all my gear. But I do think that it'll be hard to verse like a Warlock, just because healing, I'm going to just run out of mana. It's the level 30 dueling meta is a little weird, because I think there might be some classes that actually do really well that we wouldn't have expected, but I don't know why they're in Badlands. That's a good question. Yeah, that's a little weird. Soda did it pretty good versus Locke with full Biss. Yeah, I saw him duel. He actually duels a little different than I would. Plus, he took the one-handed mace from the quest, where I chose to get the robes. I think the play is to get the dagger, the stamina dagger, from RFK, and it's a 1.6 attack speed, whereas the mace is like a 2 point something. And so if you kind of, especially on like a mage or warlock, you try and stand in melee range, you can interrupt a lot of their casts with that faster hit time. And I thought he was going into cat form a little too much. Cat is just really, really expensive for mana wise, but I can't really say because I wasn't the one dueling, so who knows. You got in the stress test? Nice. Yeah, it actually sounds like there's going to be some pretty cool stuff going on in the stress test. I'm actually really excited. It obviously won't be like much like content to play through, but I think there's going to be some cool community stuff. Yeah, with a warlock, you want to make sure you try and stay at higher health, because if the warlock's smart, they won't DR their fears at the beginning, so they won't fear much at the start of the match. And then once you get around half health or lower, then that's when they're going to start fearing you. and they just try and get you in a fear to the point where you can't really come back from it. You're stuck in the fear when you lose the duel, basically. But yeah, I watched the matchups. I mean, Soda played it pretty much how I would. I just don't know if I would go cat farm as much. Soda stopped using travel form almost completely when I watched him yesterday. Yeah, travel form is less mana than any of your other abilities. Travel form, for example, is less mana than a Moonfire. So, I think the play might honestly be to use against like a Warlock, to use Insect Swarm a lot, because Insect Swarm is less costly. And then if they're using an Imp, you kill the Imp right away. And then otherwise you just clear off the curses, because curse is going to cost them a lot of mana. And if you just keep clearing it, then it's not going to do the damage to you. And then all they're really going to be able to rely on is their wand and stuff. But I don't know. I haven't dueled any. Well, I dueled Stay Safe once, but I was feral, so it didn't even really matter. But I don't know. Soda loves his kitty. Yeah. Yeah, I'm Resta right now, like all points into Resta. Def Camp is trying to get a level 5 raid going to PvP. Yeah, I think that's what's probably gonna happen with us too. I'm not sure if is it all on one server? I assume so, right? Can you get above level 30 now? No, not right now. I don't know when they're gonna update the level, like the cap, but I don't think it will be for a little while. Scouts have reported enemy movement. Is Sony Digital role playing again? Oh my god, the stream that he had the other day where we were world PvPing in Duskwood was absolutely hilarious. I hope he does more like that. It's so funny. Real talk, is exploration leveling a meme for Classic launch? It has been a meme. It has been a complete meme on private servers, basically to try and get people out of the starting zone. But private servers have also had dynamic respawns and stuff like that. So with this, honestly, with this stress test, when we log in and see how many people are in the starting zone, it might not be a meme, to be honest. If there's that many people in the starting zone at launch, it might be viable. I don't think it's ever viable in Mulgore. Mulgore is a very large spread out zone, and also Mulgore has less people that play, like less people roll Tauren, so the starting areas shouldn't be like as bad as some of the other ones. But yeah, in the past, the exploration thing has been a meme, but who knows if it will be a meme now. Could actually be legitimate. Yes, all on one server. That being said, don't know how the phasing is going to work. Yeah, that's. I think they might be testing out their like layering system this time around, so we'll see. I was actually testing on the. I was testing like a full spirit build, like trying to get as much spirit as I could, and it seems like right now, my regen rate is about 37 mana per second, or per 5 seconds, excuse me. 37 mana per 5 seconds, whereas if I have like no spirit, it's like around 20 something, so I don't really think it's going to be worth it, because I was kind of thinking about having like a spirit set against some classes in the duel tournament, but I don't think it's going to work out very well. But this talent is pretty strong. Stay Safe already has exploration added to his route because 500 people in the same zone will be insane. Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think some races will have to worry about it more. Like, I don't think Night Elves and Taurens will have to deal with it quite as much, especially Tauren. Like, I think Tauren is the Tauren starting area is actually like the best starting area in terms of population. But I don't know. I think more people might honestly go Tauren this time around, because at least in the beta currently, and I don't think they're going to change it, the hit box for Tauren is actually insane, even on female Tauren. I was trying it out the other day in dungeons, and it's so far, which is really nice. Like, if a mage Novas you, like, for example, warriors have a really hard time against mages at level 60, right? And that there is a decent advantage by having your what am I trying to say? Have your the extra range on your attacks, to be honest. Ooh, Chance is showing his helm. I think Chance is going to be... Please duel Soda. I mean, there's no point. Druid versus Druid is one, it's super slow. But two, Soda has a lot better gear than I do. So it would just be obviously one-sided. Like, we're the same build and everything. But he has a lot better gear than I do. Yeah, holy shit. And he's got some enchants. Like, I don't have a necklace yet. I don't have best rings. I have these still, which are like a really low-level quest item. I have this garbage staff. These random healing bracers that I need to upgrade. So the only thing I have this, which is best in slot, this best in slot, this best in slot, and that's it. Everything else I need to upgrade. So I've been having really bad luck. Like, I've seen the necklace drop twice in SM Graveyard the other day, but I lost both rolls. So I got the skills. Well, sadly, Druid vs. Druid is all about having the mana pool. Because we have the exact same talents. It's like the same thing. We'll both be in cat form doing as much damage to each other as we can. Then whoever has less health or or gets lucky with crits is gonna have to pop out first and heal, and yeah. It's like Paladin versus Paladin, super boring to watch. What professions are you going to peck while leveling? I probably honestly will only level the skinning, as I will like level really, really fast. So 5 yard is base, I think, and Tarn have 7. Yeah, it definitely is pretty impactful. Watch out for rank 1 curses. Yeah, it's the same thing with like my rank 1 Moonfire. I use that a lot on dot classes, and actually normally right here, I just haven't. Right here on my spell bar is rank 1 Moonfire. I mean rank 1 Rejuve to get people to purge those off or whatever. Is the range still increased in Shapeshift or Taran? I believe it's just in your like caster form, but I could be wrong. I haven't checked it or anything. Go balance, no one will expect it. Yeah, but you just and you don't have NS. Like, there's nothing really that good in the balance tree. Like, natural shapeshifter is the best thing you're gonna get. Like, you could argue Nature's Grasp, but Nature's Grasp is the same thing. Nature's Grasp is just a less effective version of an NS root. So, like, just NS rooting is the same thing as a Nature's Grasp. So, I don't know. If you could have more points, having Moonglow would be nice, but the most you're going to get is 1 point in Moonglow, and then you're missing out on Nature's Grace for the decreased cast time. 777. Yeah, what could you do with that? 2 points, but you wouldn't be able to get Feral Charge, and you're not going to be in cat form very much, so no point in any of these talents really. Do mouse over macros work? Yeah, they do work, which is awesome. Yeah. 777 would actually be like the worst thing possible because you're missing out on just basically everything. The thing is, Insect Swarm is like decent, but it's not actually that great. Like, Feral Charge is so nice, but the problem is it's just like so mana intensive basically to just. And for Feral Charge to be effective, you also mandatory have to get 5 points in Furor, because by the time you shift into Bear form and you enrage, there's like the cast is going to be over of whatever you were trying to charge on. So, I mean, at least most classes are in the same boat. You know, you have warriors saying like, "Oh, warriors are going to suck in duels because we don't have much of our kit." But I mean, it's the same thing with druids as well. I think one of the strongest classes is just going to be warlocks and also rogues, because they have a lot of their necessities are already there, you know. Do HOTS tick over the other person's head now? No. I don't know if that's a setting that you can enable, but it doesn't seem like it. Chances running Furor instead of Mark of the Wild, what's the difference? I mean, Mark of the Wild is just going to give me a little bit more armor, a little more stats. This is 10 times better, right? But with all the PvE I'm doing, this is nice to have. Plus, I'm not going. The only time I'm ever going into a form will be bear form, and that's to get a bash off, which I can easily get enough energy. I mean, enough rage with just doing my enrage and waiting, like one bear melee swing. Plus, bash is like shares a DR with war stomp, so it's not even that good, anyways. So he's taking this because I assume he's thinking he's gonna shift every once in a while, but to be honest, I probably will play every duel in human form. That's the reason why I want to pick up that dagger, because I think that dagger has a fairly fast swing time, so I can kill people that way. I don't know, because that's how it was at the level 19 tournament. I didn't actually slept in and didn't compete at all, but when I was dueling people the day before for the level 19 tournament, you didn't really want to shift into a different form. It was actually best to just melee people as a caster form. Okay, so I can hit from here. You're too far away. See, that would be the 5. Honestly, that's just that's such a long range for Tauren. That's kind of a bummer, actually, because that's the one thing that the one time you'd actually take advantage of that for a druid is in your different forms. Is one hand range different? No, it's one-handed weapons versus two-handed weapons is same range. People were testing that, I know. Yeah, but imagine getting hit farther in forms. That would suck. Yeah, true. Thank you for testing that. Yeah, no problem. That would be bad, actually, because you would get hit further too then, and that means when you're like trying to travel form away, warriors would be able to get their hamstring off easier. Does it increase your spell range? No, it shouldn't, because it doesn't. You're still the same amount of, like the distance you are is still the same from your target. So, I don't know. It should be the same. We're gonna lose. I think Guzu has like best in slot gear. We might just lose here. Yeah, it's gonna be over here. The stun resist for rogues is super nice with orc. That's why you need engineering for the duel tournament. If you're stun, like for example, war stomp into, because for example, rogues, the only out they have for your root is going to be a vanish. So because even if you have fairy fire up on the rogue, they can still vanish and it'll break the root. So you just either have to NS root or get the bash off and get another root. I'm not sure how Tarn Hunters are impacted by the hitbox. Female Tarn was better in Warsong Gulch when you could use Deviate Delight, because you could fit through the holes as a female human. But now that Deviate Delight breaks on shifting, then no, it won't matter. You won't be able to fit through the holes. Why female Tarn? I don't know. I get asked that all the time. Just decided, this time. Seems like everyone's... I actually don't know of any level 30 male Tarns. Like, actually none. Soda's female. Speed Shift's female. Even though it shows them as a male, they're female. Actually, the only male Tarn that's level 30 that I've actually seen is Sony Digital. No, Thorns doesn't scale with spell power. But I don't have any spell power gear, but it never has scaled with spell power, so... That's why I asked. Everyone's female. Yeah, I think people just prefer the smaller... Like, it did have some benefits before, but not anymore. Not at this point. Chance actually might lose here. Yeah, he's gonna lose. Chance needs to use travel form a lot more. I think he's just not used to using travel form as often. Isn't that the female picture? Is that the female Tarn? Yikes. I don't know. That looks like a male Tarn to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Males just look slow and goofy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've said this a million times before. I would, if I could play Druid and not be Tarn, I definitely would. I'm not a super huge fan of Tarn in general, but I like male Tarns for some things and I like female Tarns for others, so it's kind of whatever. I think rogues are going to be tough for Druid unless we have engineering bombs. Just when they're orc. And probably when I face Guzo, I should have NS'd root instead of NS heal. Because then I can just get away and he has no out. Yeah, look. 2.4 second, and you're only getting 5 intellect out of it. Those are pretty nice, though. Yeah, look at my pants versus Soda's. Yikes. What is end content in this demo? What exactly do you do at max level 30? Test stuff, like test bugs out. Pretty much just, yeah, I don't know. Hang out with people, go do dungeons, gear up the same way that you'd gear up at level 60, but instead you're gearing up in like best in slot level 30. So that's like one piece that I got the other day, which is really, really good. Yeah, because I have a lot of gear that I still need to upgrade, so just doing dungeons and PvPing by the fire. Yeah, dangerous. I think it does like 20 something damage. Or this one doesn't do any. Oh yeah, there, 23. Damn, he just shot me for 130. Look at that root duration. I should be good. Oh, can he shoot me from here? I think I'm good. Should be able to finish him here. Dude, did you shoot me for 130? What the fuck? That's actually crazy. Is a server lagging? I don't think so. Oh, one thing that we also tested that's wild that you can do. So it only seems like some guards are like responsive like this. Do I have a day job or stream YouTube full time? Yeah, I'm currently unemployed, so I just kind of do this. Well played, thanks. Yeah, we had some duels early against Tips. It was about 50-50 in terms of the ones he won and I won. But here, let me show you. Let me show you what I was doing. There was a rare that I couldn't kill, so I wanted to try this. But you can basically kite mobs infinitely to the point where sometimes they just actually respawn. Like they just disappear completely. But I'm just kiting with rank 1 Moonfire. And then as soon as they get too close and they start hitting me, I can go Cheetah. But these don't do that much damage to me anyways. But you can do this in Gadgetzan, in Tenaris, and the guards bring them to the guards and they kill them for you. And Kite Kazakh, yeah, you could, but he's not in the beta, but that's something you could do. And see, then I'm able to get Mage Weave, which then I can create Mage Weave bandages, which really you can't get Mage Weave cloth on anything lower than like mid 30s, so it's kind of time consuming, but having these bandages for like duels could be really strong. Hey dude, great videos on YouTube, can't wait to play a Druid. You should set up a Patreon. Yeah, I was thinking about doing something like that. Do you get XP too? Yeah, I'm capped currently, so I don't get any XP, but I was talking to a hunter that was also doing it, and we were kind of trying to brainstorm some areas that you could do it in, and he said that you do get XP, but it's based on how many guards help you. So if you just have one guard help you, then you get more. Whereas if you have multiple guards help you, you get less, obviously. And so it just wouldn't be very effective against or for leveling, just because of how long it takes, but like to kite them there. But now that you're capped at 30, you can farm some of these higher levels and possibly get some good stuff, especially if you find like a rare and kite it. Even if Kazakh is in the game and kiteable, yeah, you'd need a lot of people. The thing is, though, so this is not how it is on private servers, right? You'll leash mobs back, like mobs will run back way faster, even if you're kiting them like that. Whereas in this beta, it seems like you can kite mobs forever. Like, for example, when we're like raiding near a town and the guards get on us, if anyone's like healing group members or whatever, even if we're not touching the guards will just follow us forever, basically. So it's pretty tough. Well, then they have to fix it. You could level from stuff you pull into gadget. Yeah, I think several, probably 5+ people have reported it now. So and I just basically reported it saying, like, because I don't think the kiting is the issue. I just think the fact that you can get XP and loot the mobs is the problem. And I don't really know if that's like how it was in Classic or not, but they probably should just fix that, because it could be an exploit later. I mean, it's really not that strong if you're at level 60, because it'd be better just to go out and kill stuff, you know? But at this level, it's good. He spec'd Prot because of concussive blow for the stun. Since you can't get out of fears and stuff, I think his reasoning was because then as a orc he would be able to shift, or he would be able to kick one of the fears, which would give him uptime, and then after kicking one fear, then he could conk blow another fear. So it just gives him more time. And then maybe grenade a fear, so it's just like as much time as you can buy up on the warlock or whatever. Can you still entangling roots insect swarm them to death over time, or the resist too much? Yeah, higher level mobs, they just resist it way too much. Hey Ben, how's it going? Why did I pick female over male? I think I get asked this question more than anything else. It's just personal preference, I guess. I don't know. How are you on gold? Could you please test frost oil? Yeah, we can't get frost oil in the game yet, but I will definitely test it when I can get my hands on some. I have like 8 gold, but I had to spend 5 on respecking and a few other things that oh yeah, I was leveling professions, so it cost me a little bit. So yeah, 8 gold. Smaller hitbox on female Tarn? No, same hitbox. What's happening? I'm kind of in the dark just as much as you guys are. I don't have any streams open, so normally like I just listen to streamers, so I'm guessing Tips Out on his channel or Sony Digital on their channel. They probably know what's going on. I think we're doing some kind of PvP raid is my guess. Feel like there are not many druids in the beta. Can you go over most popular to least popular in your opinion? I think we have a lot of warriors, a lot of rogues, and then the rest of the classes are kind of spread out, I think. There's actually a decent amount of druids, to be honest. I mean, like, more than I'd thought. Like, Speed Shift, myself, Chance, there's another guy, Boldness, but I haven't really seen him doing much PvP with us. I think he just got 30 recently. Yeah, Boldness. He's doing Razorfin. So I mean, like you can see there's a decent amount of druids. Oh yeah, Storm X obviously. I don't know. Oh, 4 whole druids. Well, yeah, but like think about it. We don't like there's not that many mages compared to like at 30. There's only like a few more 30 mages than druids. At least in our guild right now. Obviously, like Venruki's in Classic, and stuff like that, but this guy looks pretty cool, actually. See, that's the dagger I want. I've been trying to get that. Oh, it's 1.5 speed, actually. Yeah, that's a good dagger. Storm X is an absolute beast. Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see him play in the tournament. But sadly, I don't think... well, not really sadly, but I just don't think that level 30 is going to be a great indicator of how well you do at 60. On private servers, mages tend to be the second most played. Yeah, which is why I think it's weird that in the beta, it just feels like... I mean, there's still a decent amount, but it feels like there's less. Look at this guy's like bugged out on my screen, moonwalking. Talk about Ferals in classic PvP, please. Yeah, Feral's a good spec, but you end up not really playing it like a Feral. So you kind of end up playing with intellect gear on, so like your tier 1 set is really good. Basically, mana is everything for a druid. If you have mana, you can live forever. So even if you have, like, you need enough of a stamina pool that you have enough health to stand some burst. But other than that, mana is like the most important thing, because if you can heal all day, and then put up your dots and shift into different forms, then you'll do great. So as a Feral in PvP, you basically wear intellect gear. So if you're like trying to wear your PvE Feral gear, which is going to be like strength, agility, crit, stamina, things like that, you're just going to go too fast, and you won't be able to shapeshift out and CC and whatnot. So Alliance seemed to just be farming all day. The PvP battles have been kind of lame for the most part. Yeah, well, the problem is the population is greater on Horde side, and most of the PvPers that you know from retail and stuff are playing on Horde as well. So you have people like Sony, Venruki, Snuts. Yeah, like, so a lot of the people from retail that PvP went Horde, and a lot of the retail players that PvE went Alliance. So I think that's really the big reason. It's not anything beyond that. But I mean, for example, on the private server that I played on, Horde was the minority, and Alliance was the ones that had the larger server size. So that being said, it's really just up in the air in terms of what server you roll on, who's kind of the dominant faction. The Mighty Cow Druid, very scary to go up against. Yeah, for most people it definitely is, especially at 60. Lower levels you really fast with low mana because of low mana. So I think as the beta increases with levels, it'll be better and better time for druids, I guess. Hurt Stairs, hello. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Welcome. Can someone explain to me what's going on? Tipsout is talking about how streamers like Asmongold are crying about world PvP, from what I understand. So what I heard is, so initially I was just dueling Tipsout and a few of our guildies like Zulace and K9 and stuff. We were in Duskwood and we were just dueling people. And then I said, how about we go do like world PvP or some dungeons? Then we said, okay, we'll go do world PvP. And then we were trying to find people. And then we're like, well, maybe we should just try and go and find Asmongold, because when when someone tries to go and find Asmongold, it basically starts a war, right? Because then the Alliance gather and the Horde gather, and it's just fun. But then what happened is people were talking about like, oh, well, is that considered stream sniping, Asmongold? And like, Asmongold hasn't been as much of a fan of the PvP as a lot of us have been, I think, for whatever reason. Because I think it's great content for streamers, and also I think it's fun for people to watch, and obviously fun to participate in. I mean, if we're stuck at level 30, we might as well do something exciting, right? But yeah, so I think that's kind of the concern, is that some people think that we're stream sniping or griefing, and then other people want to do it because it's fun. So I don't know. No problem, you deserve it. Well, thanks, I appreciate it, man. Hey, Evan, why all the hate for Night Elf Druids? In terms of from me, because I like their character model, but what the Tube said is true. It's just because they're Alliance, man. I like the models for Night Elves, but I just don't like being Alliance. His heart is red. Yeah, exactly. It's impossible to find a lot of Alliance unless you gank them, or gank Asmon, or sometimes Gurubashi. Yeah, exactly. We were running around beforehand, and it would just like, it was us 5, and then we just run upon like a level 24, and then it's like not really fun to just, you know, be running around ganking some people. Like, I think it would be fun to kind of organize some like 3v3, 5v5 kind of impromptu little tournaments. Slay him. But we will have to see if that happens. Like, we were doing some people in Gurubashi the other day, which was actually fun. Oh, sorry. So, general rule of thumb: people that play hunters and or night elves are cunts. I wouldn't go that far to say that, but if I was on beta, I'd ruin his day all day. Yeah, like, I understand as a bigger streamer. Like, for example, I was doing SM graveyard runs the other day, and so were Asmongold and some other people, but he wasn't streaming or anything. And almost every time we'd zone out from the dungeon, he and his group would be like getting attacked too. So like, I can understand that he probably gets kind of frustrated after a while, because just anytime someone sees his name, they probably try and attack him. But I mean, if you can have some friends and stuff group up with you, like, it's easy for him as such a big streamer to get people to that guy's out of here, to get people to help him out. So like, I think personally, as someone in the beta, I understand if he wants to go on a PvE server come launch, but if you're stuck at level 30, you might as well have fun with it and go out and world PvP or whatever. You should organize some roaming 3v3 or 5v5 tournaments in Hellsbrad like they did in retail. Yeah, I think it would be cool to have so, you know, kind of how you'd have to pick a zone with like lower level mobs, so mob, or maybe like same range level mobs, so they could add like a little bit of gameplay aspect to it, but they don't like get in the way. But I think it would be kind of cool to have that happen where you basically there's like maybe 5 teams of three men go out, and then it's just basically one zone. You all start in different corners of the zone, and then it's like kind of king of the hill where last team alive wins or whatever. So you might come across a team that it's like 3 people versus 3 people, and you're kind of like a third party attacking them or something. But it could be interesting. The only problem is that you have is how you do that with Alliance and Horde, you know, because if you end up with 2 groups of Horde at the end, then it's kind of weird. Those big streamers making thousands and thousands of dollars each stream and still crying on WoW. Yeah. He's just mad you guys explode him and his pleb chat and Arathi, even if they were outnumbering you and were helped by guards. Yeah, I think he got really upset about the Whirlwind quest thing, because I think he was just trying to get his weapon, and then we came in there and kind of sniped him and whatever. But what are we about to do in Badlands? I honestly have no idea what's going on. I just know we're attempting to do some PvP maybe. Oh, did Tips go AFK for a second? I think he got stuck on a bridge. Could you give us, or could you give insight on how good the Heart of the Wild NS build is for farming and killing mobs at 60? It's good. Basically, any Druid spec will work for my method of farming, which is to stack a lot of int gear so you have a big mana pool, and then you basically, with that large mana pool, you basically go out and do AoE pulls on, you know, elementals. I like to farm elementals. I like to farm the satyrs in Jadefire Run. I mean, I probably won't do a video on this just because I don't want to give away my secret, but one of my favorite places to AoE farm is actually in Silithus at the beginning, because there's no, like, most people don't go to Silithus at the start, right? Because AQ isn't out. There's no reason to be doing those quests. There's not really any reason to be doing or to be farming there other than to farm the elementals. So if you do that, what you can do is there's a lot of scorpions that run around, and they drop a lot of gray items from beasts that stack, and they sell for like quite a bit. So you can, when there's not really any economy at the beginning of the game, you can go there and farm and just make money vendoring things. And they also drop glowing scorpid blood, which can be turned in for at the Dark Moon Fair, or you can sell it. A stack of it sells for like 2 gold. So it just kind of depends. Barkskin Hurricane for the win. Yeah, it's definitely underrated. Like, when I first hit 60, I was trying to farm like with bear form and swiping, and like your swipe just doesn't do much damage, and your swipe only hits 3 mobs. It's not like unlimited mobs how it is in like retail. So it's definitely really, really strong to do the hurricane method. Like, a lot of people would think that swiping in bear form would be good, but it really just isn't. Have you tried AoE farming as actual Moonkin? I haven't. I imagine it would be really good. You have a higher armor, so you wouldn't take as much damage. But the problem is with Moonkin is you don't have Insect Swarm to use, which normally when I pull mobs, I pull them with putting Moonfire, Insect Swarm, and then rinse and repeat on all the mobs until I've got them all gathered up. And then at that point, that's when I will like throw a hot on myself, Barkskin, and then Barkskin and then Hurricane. So I hope Druid will be the least class played. I like to be the minority on the server. Yeah, that's what a lot of people have said in my chat, and I think it will be. For some reason, in surveys, like when people ask what class they're going to play, a lot of people say Druid, but then like when it comes to an actual realm, there's never that many Druids on there. So I don't know if like people get burnt out on leveling a Druid, or they realize that the class isn't for them. But we'll have to see. I don't think it's going to be like super popular. It just depends on what you're farming too. Some mobs have lower HP. Yeah, for sure. Like, for example, when I farm the satyrs in Jadefire Run, the tricksters are the ones that are lower HP, and I can kill those by the time my hurricane ends. Whereas a lot of the elementals, once my hurricane ends, the elementals are still at about 10 to 20% health, so I have to have enough mana to either put up new dots, or I have to just melee them down. Which is actually when I had only blues and greens at the beginning of hitting 60, I actually used Julie's dagger because it has a pretty fast swing speed, and it also gives you a healing buff, which is like a chance on hit to heal you for like maybe 70 health over 12 seconds. But on private servers, at least, it scales with plus healing, so it actually heal for quite a bit. And I'd use that to kind of finish mobs off. What are we raiding? I believe we're going to Badlands, and we're going to be killing some Alliance there, but I have no idea why Asmongold's there. I think Asmongold's there, but... Will Classic WoW have 21:9 ultra wide aspect ratio? Any clue? Yeah, it should. I actually have I play in windowed mode, so my screen is actually, the aspect ratio for me is like, I actually don't know what I play on, but it's more normal. It's like a typical aspect ratio, but I have like a ultra wide monitor, like the curved monitors. Like a 49-inch monitor. So I can't play on the full thing because it feels crazy to me. Like it feels like I'm going into like a fisheye lens or something. But yeah, it can stretch that whole distance. He's not. Asmongold is farming Nomergon with Esfand and McConnell. Okay, well... Then I guess we're doing something random. I don't know what we're doing. I'm just following. You like the extra room? Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I used for a while before I was streaming, because with streaming it all obviously will mess up with my game capture or whatever. But I had a add-on that basically gave you like black portions of WoW, so I could have WoW full screen. And then I had black portions where I had like my bags would come up on like the right hand side of my screen, and then I had profession windows, and any like window that would open up on my left hand side of the screen in like just a black quadrant. So it was pretty cool. Four by 3 or 16 by 10 is comfy. But I don't want to play windowed, so... Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, windowed is just like my only option, because otherwise it's my WoW is just huge on my screen. Remember the name of the mod? Yeah, it won't work. It won't work now on Classic. You'd have to find something different, but I did save it. Let me look in my bookmarks. I think I saved it at least. Shit, maybe I deleted it. I can always check later. What is going on? Surprised at how few priests I've seen. Yeah, I know, and I think the funny thing is I think priests are actually gonna be really strong at the 30, at level 30 in the duel tournament, because they have mana burn, and they also have pretty good sustain. So I don't know. I think it's weird that there's not as many priests. I don't know if this server will be a very good indicator of what we actually see at level 60 though. Because I think a lot of people, honestly, this time around, just played things that they thought would be strong in the duel tournament, maybe. But then again, a lot of these people I know are actually on their mains, so I don't really know. It's funny though, you see a lot of, there's already a lot of the retail streamers that have been dueling, and they've been getting frustrated by their class in duels, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of classic for you. Which is why you can't really take duels into consideration very much, because, for example, as a druid, I don't win a whole lot of duels at level 60. Like if I go on a duel server, I don't win that many duels, but then in world PvP I win almost all the time. It's just because in a duel tournament or in a duel setting, you only have so much room to kite in cap form or in travel form, and it's just harder to like reset fights that way. So like, for example, hunters and druids in duels is a little harder because you don't have as much room to work with. Do you have a time or day for the duel competition yet? No, all I know is that for duels, you have the Alliance side duel tournament is going to be sooner. So I heard maybe week and a half, 2 weeks, and the Horde one was supposed to be like in a month. You know, like I think there's a decent amount of time left. I think one of the reasons why is because they were hoping to get more people into the beta. The beta is still fairly small, and I think we're trying to have more people to compete with. Because right now in the beta, it's like pretty much all like very well-known people, you know? Like I feel like there's only a few people like myself, and then, you know, some random people that are kind of more unknown people, whereas a lot of people are like retail, like really well-known retail players or streamers. So we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, there's still beta invites are still going to be going out. This is kind of a nightmare. I don't really know what we're doing here. But that being said, like, these are just gonna, if we keep healing Sony, like these are just gonna chain with us forever. But yeah, invites are still going out. That being said, it's still just up in the air on how you get an invite. I think hopefully what a lot of people have been saying is hopefully they keep on some of the stress testers from this stress test later. It's a Farrago video from 2005. You got me killed by a druid. Dude, he didn't kill me. All he did was heal the whole time. Yeah. That's the funny thing. Like, even if you PvP as Balance or Feral as a druid, you're basically still playing kind of more of like a defensive healer in PvP. How do you feel Druid do in Battlegrounds outside of being flag carrier? You're actually really strong, and not for a lot of the reasons that people think of. Like, you're not really a healer in Battlegrounds. So like when someone's looking in for rated Battlegrounds, when someone is looking for a healer, they're going to be looking for like a priest or a shaman. They're not really going to be looking for a druid. Whereas when you take a druid, it's when either you have an empty spot that you're trying to fill, or you want them to do a very specific job. So it just depends on the group comp. If you're lacking pet classes like a warlock or hunter, a lot of people will have a druid sit like stables or farm, and kind of be that anchor there, because you can spin a flag for a long time. And yeah, not many other classes can do that, just because you have direct damage from Moonfire and you can use it from very far away. And then in terms of other Battlegrounds, like, you have very specific roles. So like in Alterac Valley, if you do like a pre-made Alterac Valley, it's very it's a very specific role in terms of like ninja capping and taking back towers and stuff. Help tips out. Where is he? Did I run past him? Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know what we're doing. How long is the beta? I have no information on that. I've heard like it's going to last several months. What's a minimum PvP rank to get geared for Druid as an alternate for raiding? I mean, if you get rank 8 and get the 4-piece for Druid, you can do really well with that. Are you really 60? I'm 30 in the beta. The cap in the beta is 30. You rarely lost as Feral or Hunter in World PvP. Upside for Feral is that you can almost always get away, even against higher levels. Yeah, you can get away, plus you can choose the fights that you want to engage or take, which is really, really nice. So technically, you could honestly have a 100% win rate as a Druid, because you could just, you know, pick the fights that you want. If you never want to have to face a Warlock, then just don't face a Warlock. You just run away. Oh, he took res sickness. You're really considering a Hunter? Hunter's a class too that is like, people kind of give them shit in terms of like, oh, you're a Huntard or whatever, but that's more of like a PvE sense. In PvP, like Hunters definitely have a really high skill cap. They're one class that really stands out in PvP just because of their pet management and like kiting ability. Like kiting and CC ability is pretty crazy as a Hunter, and if they use a lot of engineering and things like that, it like a good Hunter really stands out. Hey CK, how's it going? We're just doing something. I honestly don't really know. What's my second favorite class? Probably a Warlock. I really like Warlock. They play a lot like a Druid, to be honest. And so like switching over from a Warlock to a Druid, it still feels relatively similar. And I know you're probably like, how does that make sense? Well, the thing is, you have two main dots, Corruption and Curse of Agony, whereas on Druid you have Moonfire and Insect Swarm. You have Fears to CC, whereas Druid has Roots. You have a Burst Heal, which is your health stone, and your Death Coil, depending on how you utilize your Death Coil. And Druids have NS, and so they have NS and Healing Touch. And then you also have kind of like slower heals, which is your like being able to fear and then bandage, or being able to drain life. And Druids have like rejuvenation and regrowth. So they actually tend to play kind of similar. At least when I play both classes, I feel there's a lot of similarities to them. So yeah, I think that's why I like Warlock a lot. Same. SM Ruin is so much fun. Yeah, and the good thing about Warlock is where Druid remains very slow paced PvP the whole time, whereas Warlock, the more gear you unlock, the more burst potential you have. So when a Warlock gets into like phase 4 and onward in classic WoW, they're going to be absolutely insane. For example, if I'm not sitting at 100% health when I get feared by a Warlock when a Warlock's probably like in BWL gear and on, I can potentially get one shot. So it's very Warlocks are very, very strong, especially as the game progresses. Lock has a lot of viable specs and get better and better after 60. Yeah, exactly. Ultimate 5-man comp? Are you talking for like world PvP, or are you talking dungeons or leveling or what? I have so many 2K plus Nightfall crits. Yeah, it's Warlocks are so strong later on. And I think that's why you'll see more Warlocks this time around, because in Classic WoW, Warlock wasn't a hugely popular class, but that's because at the beginning of the game they weren't very strong, but man, later they get really strong, and I think more people know that this time around. What do you think about Troll Shadow Guard on Shadow Priest? I personally haven't played with it, but I know that people say it's actually really strong. But then again, I don't know if it actually scales off spell power in true vanilla. I know that it does on like private servers and stuff, but have you tried messing around with any shifting macros like shift out pot, shift back in, or shift out Barksian, shift into form? No, I need to do all those things, especially because I'm going to put out a video next week on macros, so I kind of need to sit down and work out all that stuff here soon. Everything. Let's just say the ultimate 5-man comp for leveling, dungeons, world PvP. So like at the center of everything would be a warrior, right? You're not really going to have a successful 5-man without a warrior. And then if your alliance pair a shaman with that, or if your alliance pair a paladin with that, and if your horde pair a shaman with that, so there's your first two. Then you want a strong caster class, which you're obviously going to want to take a mage, for multiple reasons. Mage can make food and water for your group. You have portals, and then also you have like really good CC and burst damage. So there's three. Now you have a warrior, and then one of the the faction specific healers, so either shaman or paladin, and then you have a mage, and then I would take a rogue personally, just because again rogues have a lot of versatility. When it comes to dungeons, they're able to check for rare mobs on certain dungeons. They're able to open certain certain lockbox, certain chests rather, that are locked, and they have a lot of CC and damage also. So that would be 4, and then I think the 5th class would be more of a wild card. Obviously, as someone who plays Druid, I'd say a Druid would be a good choice, but that's just me saying it. I think the 5th choice is obviously just a little bit more up to you. Can Disc Priest... Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you'd probably, if you're horde side, you'd probably want to be rolling with a priest in a 5-man group, so you have a magic to spell. Can Disc Priest be viable in 1v1s outdoor battles? You're better off as a Shadow Priest in 1v1 in the world, but yeah, Disc Priest would still be a strong class in world PvP. I need to plug in my headphones. It's gonna die. Have you heard if manual crowd pummeler works for Feral in beta? I haven't picked one up, but I saw someone get one on a stream, and it had the same 3 charges and everything. Why aren't you Druids in the Classic Discord? Are you saying why am I not in the Druid Classic Discord? Honestly, I'm not like a huge Discord user. I honestly just use it for my guild and stuff. Priest or shaman for healing? It really just depends, to be honest. Depends on like in what sense you're talking about, but I think really when it comes down to like picking between a healer, you just got to go with what you enjoy, because every healer has its strengths and weaknesses and is good in different situations. Haben was hoping to get an answer from someone more qualified than Soda Poppin'. Do you know if female Tauren can get through spaces in Warsong Gulch that male Taurens cannot fit in? No, you can go through all the same areas. The spot he's talking about is there's a few areas in the fence on Alliance side that a human a human female model can fit through, and a human undead model can fit through. And this was previously, you were able to do this on a female Tauren because you could use Savory Deviate Delights and it would turn you into a female human ninja or pirate, right? But now that on these servers, switching into a form will break that costume appearance. You won't be able to fit through those anymore. So no, there's really no strength. There's no real difference to being a male or female in Warsong Gulch. It won't really matter. But yes, that used to be the case. In your 5-man group, if your wild card was Druid, would you say Druid would be feral DPS? I think the Druid would I'd probably have the Druid play Heart NS, and then I'd have the Druid have a lot of different gear sets in their bag so they could kind of swap around when needed. If you needed some more heals, then you could obviously put on healing gear. If you needed to play more of a DPS role, then you could put on your feral DPS gear. You have to go Furlog. Oh, the Furblog form? Yeah, I wish that was not Alliance only. Thanks for the answer, Evan. Yeah, for sure. Oh, you think he was asking if pummelers affect animal form attack speed? I don't know if anyone has tested it. Sorry, my dogs are barking. I think someone's coming in the door. Okay, sorry. I was making sure I had myself muted so that if they barked again, they wouldn't blow people's eardrums out. What spec are my dogs? I'd say one of them is definitely like Luna's a warlock. Okay, Luna is like a warlock. Actually, our little dog Luna is like the warlock's pet, like the imp. She's evil. And then we have a really big dog that's probably like a prot paladin, kind of useless and big and bulky. I don't know what Seamus is. All our dogs are crazy though. What do I think about Druid tanking? It's really strong. Like I said, with a lot of things, we'll have to see if like armor values and everything stack up to be just as good as they are in private servers. But we'll have to see. I mean, I guess we could duel people or something instead of me just sitting here. I wonder how dueling a shaman is. Like, we just gotta watch out for purges and stuff. Probably just kite. I just think like duels as a druid seem so like cheesy because you basically just run away the whole time, you know? Like, you stay at max distance, don't let him hit you. Like, you know, it's just... I guess I should maybe even go cat form. I don't know how much damage he does. Like, cat form and let him go He just shocked so we can heal. Oh, I thought he literally just shocked. I think he has really good damage, that's the thing. I have to get away. Mana, I think mana is just actually going to be the issue here. Got lucky with that slow swing speed. If we can get far enough away, we can bandage. What's the cooldown on shock? Like 6 seconds? Maybe I actually open in cat. 6 seconds? Yeah. Because, like, okay, so when I went into the duel, I'm thinking purge, right? Purge is going to be a huge problem. But he's actually not going to have to purge me from really anything because, like, if I rejuve, he's going to purge me, right? So I just can't rejuve. I can bait out rejuves. Maybe I try and bait out some rejuves and make him faster. I don't know. I actually didn't think Shaman would be that hard at 30, but since they actually get Wind Fury and stuff, it's pretty strong because I can't really go cat or bear because he's just gonna out DPS me with that axe. Wait, does he just have a normal axe too? Oh my god, guys. That's even worse. He doesn't even have the 29 blue, whatever it's called. Is it worth playing Troll Priest? Yeah, I mean, Troll Priest is strong. Laughing my ass off. Oh god, yeah, I know. I actually didn't think Shaman would be very hard at 30, but with Frost Shock, it's actually kind of hard. You can do it, Ebb and pull his tusk out. I think that's kind of the fun part about the 30 meta is it's completely different than 60. So you have to like rethink how you would play. Because at 60, like my mana pool is big enough that I can, like how I beat shamans at 60 is like I literally just kite them all day long and they faster than I do. Whereas like I can't really spam travel form like I can at 60. You love Frost Shock. Yeah, it does a lot of damage too. Like 100 damage per Frost Shock. Just win forehead. Troll Priest plus Berserking equals PvE winning. Yeah. I know a lot of people really like their Shadow Guard ability too. Try cat, open with bleeds, then dot up and bear. Yeah, the problem is from cat to bear form, that's like a big chunk of my mana gone. And if he gets one good Wind Fury proc on me, that's like around 400 damage. Even more if he has a good weapon, obviously. And that's like, I don't know. I kind of want to duel him a few more times. But I don't really know. We'll try and bait out a few. Let's start in cat. We'll see, guys. We'll see what we can do. I definitely don't have best in slot. Like, I'm missing a lot of pieces, but this guy's missing a lot of stuff too. So it's definitely not a gear issue with him. Look at that damage. Oh my god. Oh, what the hell? Oh, that's not my strong one. I need to switch those. Is he gonna purge? Yep. He's getting low on mana, but we are too. Oh my god. That damage is actually nutty. Okay, well, we did better that time. It just mana is such a big issue. I don't know, guys. That's a non-geared shaman. I don't want to tell him my secret, obviously. But look, he's in bad gear. Like Sidu, for example, is probably the most geared shaman on this server, and I bet he would just absolutely destroy me. Like, this guy has yeah, K9 is really not geared. Okay, maybe our new honestly, Warlock is, I don't even think Warlock is as hard as he is. Shaman might be the hardest thing for us just because of Purge. Not being able to have our our hots up is really bad. And like, how do we win against a warrior, right? We win because we're able to kite, but with Frost Shock and Earth Shock interrupting our attempts to do roots or whatever, it's a pretty big deal. Spam Moonfire or spam Starfire from a distance. The problem is it doesn't do that much damage at this level, so there's not really any point in going balance. Luckily, I'll play Horde. Yeah, I hate facing shamans. That is one of the biggest strengths of a Tauren shaman. Outside of War Stomp is not having to deal with Purge on a shaman. Because Priest Dispel is kind of annoying, but to be honest, it's not that bad unless they're Shadow Priest. If they're Shadow Priest, it's really annoying. But if they're like any other priest, then you can just heal with Healing Touch, and it's not a big deal. But is a fishing tournament in this beta? If so, get the hat. I hear that it's not. Plus, this hat is actually really strong. It has less stamina than the fishing hat, but the Int and Spirit is really, really good. Wind Fury. Yeah, Wind Fury is really strong at this level. That's the thing. If it was one level difference, say the cap was 29, shamans would be like completely useless. But I think out of any class for what they get unlocked at 30, I think Wind Fury is the strongest unlock. Maybe Ice Block for a mage, but even then, I think most mages are playing fire. At least the ones that I've seen. Like, I think a mage duel is just really one-sided. But you guys are honestly seeing... You guys are in the same position as me. These are like my first duels, so I actually don't really know how I stand up against most classes. I need to get this offhand, though. Kind of a cool looking offhand too. Shaman get Frost Shock at 32. I think they get it at 20, don't they? I'm pretty sure they get they get it at 20 because I had Frost Shock on my 29 on my level 29 Shaman. How much of a disadvantage are druids at in later phases? Since spellcasters get better, is it possible to even compete? Yeah, Joe, it's easy to, or it's not easy. It's definitely doable to compete. You just need to realize that burst is going to get stronger. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that you're, what am I trying to say? You have to make sure that you're dealing with it like accordingly. So like the burst is stronger, so you need to keep yourself topped off more. Whereas like in phase 1, you can let yourself dip pretty low because it's not a huge deal. But, and also the one way to combat that is, as a druid, you have some of the most bursty heals in the game, because most other healers, they have to cast all their heals, whereas you have several instant heals. So with that, if you're really concerned about burst, you can just go deep resto, and then you have swift mend. Can you try this? Duel Shaman, get in combat, tell him to interrupt your heal. Oh, the Hearthstone cast? Yeah. That is true. I could be abusing Hearthstone way more at this level because most people don't have interrupt bars on there. But the problem is it's not even the interrupting that's the issue, because if I fake cast him on one, basically by the time I'm casting another one, his damage has just chunked me for as much as I heal. Oh, you just want me to test it? Yeah, I can test it with him. 1 second. See, that's weird. It seems like warlocks have a very easy time. Let me try and duel him. I want to see how I can do against a warlock. So he's going straight for that. Searing Pain spam, huh? Yeah, look at my mana. Oh, his pet's almost dead. I thought it died. If I had a mana potion, I actually would win this right here. Okay, we gotta just try and get as much regen as we can. Fear. I thought his fear was... he's got it, just with the fear. So we just need to make sure we keep ourselves up. But that wasn't actually as bad as I thought it would be. I don't think Warrior or Warlock's going to be my toughest competition, because I think this guy has almost every... like, he has a lot of his gear already. Yeah, he is probably in about the same gear position as I am. Yeah, he has his wand. He needs a better robe, but he doesn't have a necklace just like I don't. He has a decent belt. His gloves are garbage. He has good boots. Yeah, I think Warlock won't actually be the hardest class for us. Because, for example, if we can take, like, if potions are allowed and I can mana potion, then mana becomes less of an issue. How geared am I? I'm, like, middle of the pack in terms of gear. Like, I think I have, like, this this, and this are the pieces that I have. Everything else I need to upgrade. Everything else is kind of like this is all right. This needs to be different for sure. I need stats. This needs to be different for sure. I don't need the 12 spirit. I need I need intellect weapons. Like Witch's Finger gives me 7 intellect, so that will be huge. My pants are absolute garbage. My belt's not bad, but there's a better one. My gloves are actually pretty good. So I'm like, yeah, like I said, I'm in the middle there. Like I have some upgrades to do, but I'm not horrible. Lock dueling with the imp is BM. Yeah, it's like unless you have sack, like it's the best thing that they have. Imp does a lot of damage at this level, I guess. So everyone's been using imp. There's a Rod Stewart concert down the road from me, and I can hear it so clear. Beats buying tickets. Yeah, seriously. You can cast Hearthstone in combat. Okay, that's good to know. Did anyone find River Pride Choker? I know it was on the auction house, and Cedu was about to buy it, and someone bought it, and he was trying to figure out who bought it, so... He was like spamming world chat and everything. Oh, what's he saying here now? Send me gold for best next thing. But like if we had as good of like Speed Shift, for example, I think they've got most of their best in slot. Like this is a really good cloak. Actually not a bad chest piece. Those pants are good, but there's better. Okay, maybe they're not quite as geared as I thought. For example, like if you want to look at a druid that has almost their best pieces, it would be a Chance, I think. So, and I think like Chance is definitely like really good at druid, but I think he doesn't use travel form as much as he needs to. Because like I watched him die to Tips out pretty, like Tips beat him pretty easily, I guess, in the one duel that I watched. And it was just because he wasn't using travel form very much. Chance is stacking mana so he can shift. I think he's stacking mana just because he needs mana, which is basically every druid at this point. Go upgrade hunting. Yeah, I need to get some more gear. Let's see. I'm just going to look on Tips out because he has a countdown. It's like an hour and a half, right? Yeah, an hour and 30. So we have an hour and 30 to do whatever. What do you guys want me to do? I can go try and find some world PvP. Not sure how that will go. We can try and get some dungeon runs in. I'm good with whatever. We can chill here and duel. I saw him beat a better warrior than Tips last night. He definitely used travel form then. Yeah, if you use travel form a lot. I think Orc Warrior will be the hardest thing for a druid to beat. Like, I'm not really worried about dueling Sony at all because I can stun him. The stun is the issue. Stunning and getting a root off on Tips is just more of an issue with the Orc racial. I don't know. And people, for some reason, people think Tips is like not good at the game. For whatever weird reason, they've got that into their head. But Tips is actually a really good warrior. And he's gotten a lot better over the last few months because he duels a lot on Henhouse. He's definitely like a strong player. World PvP would be nice. Yeah, okay, let's go do that. Sony's the warrior that I was talking about. Yeah, I think a druid will have a better time beating Sony just because Bear Bash and your War Stomp basically guarantees you to get a roots off, which basically allows you to like reset the fight almost. So let's see, Tarn Mill or let's go to Duskwood. I've been using those. Are those? Oh, we'll just tell him to steal. Yeah, sorry. I didn't know. How do you access Henhouse? Boy, oh boy. I think it's in the classic. Like, if you are a part of the classic PvP Discord, that's how. I think it's linked there. Have I healed any dungeons in Feral leveling spec? How did it go? Yeah, I did switch over recently, but I'd healed several dungeons as a Feral, but it's not really going to be any different. You just get a little bit faster cast time for your heal. You're in dungeons, you're really only using healing touch anyways, so this doesn't really matter. This is nice, but you don't really go either. In like, the lower level dungeons are just so easy that it doesn't really matter what spec you're at, you know? As long as you have a few pieces of intellect gear, it's all good. I think there's, like, for example, I think there's a lot of people that are getting into the beta now that are retail players, right? So I think they're going to be weaker in some aspects of PvP, unless they pick things up really fast or get some dual practicing in. But I think those are the people that will be, like, super, super good at the game, if they stick with it, you know? But Classic is definitely a lot different than retail. Because, for example, if I could play a Druid like I had infinite, like if I had infinite mana and I never had an issue, like, you'd never lose as a Druid. The issue is the things that you face in Classic WoW are a lot different than, like, retail WoW. Like, mana is not a huge issue for most classes in retail, whereas, like, at level 30 and even at level 60, mana is pretty much your biggest issue with most PvP fights, like 1v1s. Am I leveling engineering for the dueling tournament? Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I think the nade stun will be really nice, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see if I want to even bother with it. Like, if we're able to level to like, say they open it to be, like, you know, maybe the cap is level 50 or something, I definitely push harder on those dueling tournaments, because I think Druid would have a better go. I don't think Druid will be, like, super strong at level 30, but if you think about Warlock in PvE and PvP, it's really good. Yeah, with Innervate, you're so much stronger. Yeah, for sure. It's really big. The problem with dueling, though, is I think your duels will be back to back. So you probably would be able to use Innervate your first and last duel. You probably wouldn't be able. It would probably be on cooldown during your second duel, depending on how long. I guess you could kind of cheese it and just hide in cat form till it came off cooldown, but dungeons definitely seem really easy, James, but even the difference between, like, doing, like, a Wailing Caverns run versus, like, a Scarlet Monastery Graveyard run is, like, pretty big difference. So I think they're going to get harder as we level, but then that being said, I really don't ever do low level dungeons when I'm leveling, even on like private servers. Like, the first dungeon I ever do is like ZF for, like, a quest run, for all those quests in Zul'Farrak. But yeah, people have said that they seem easier, but I can't comment too much, because I never really do the lower level ones when I level up. What professions do I prefer at 60 for PvP? For me, it would be, like, engineering is just one that you've pretty much got to take. But then your other profession's kind of up to you. If you do a lot of world PvP, a gathering profession's really nice because when you're running around trying to do world PvP, oftentimes you find herbs anyways, and especially for a druid, since you have teleport to Moonglade, oftentimes you use that. Like if say you're in a battleground queue or something and you're just trying to pass time, most druids will go to Moonglade and then go to Fellwood, and so you can PvP in Fellwood while you wait, and also there's a lot of herbs there, so I would say herbalism is really good. Did Druid have a good farm? Because respecing between PvE and PvP is going to cost a fortune. Yeah, I actually have a video on my channel. I don't remember what it's called. It's something about Druid AoE farming, like farming gold and stuff. And yeah, a big concern about healers in Classic is that they have a hard time farming. But Druids, you can actually like AoE farm, so it's pretty quick. I'm able to make a lot of money as a Druid. I was standing still and he missed that grenade. Did I resist it? Or did he think I was going to start running backwards? Maybe he just tried to like preemptively like throw it, but isn't Gurubashi in 22 minutes not going? I mean, my Hearthstone's set to Booty Bay, so I can easily go there. And I'm really close anyways, like if I just wanted to run down there. So... How many PvP specs are there that can be used for elite S tier PvP that are very good in PvE? Pretty much Heart NS or like a Moonglow spec. But the problem with a Moonglow spec is like if you're raiding with Moonglow, you're often taking like improved mark because your raid's going to need that. So yeah, it's a little harder, but like Heart NS is really good. So I don't know. I've watched 20 plus of your vids. Your content is awesome. Thank you, Kyle. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I think my content has slowly gotten better too with time, you know, as I learn more about YouTube and making videos and stuff. Go help Soda if he only needs one more. Yeah, we definitely will go down there. We have plenty of time though. We have 20 minutes, so I want to do it like a little bit. We flew all the way here, so we'll probably just head that way slowly as we like try and do some world PvP. There is no case for alchemy over engineering. You can use all of alchemy stuff as an engineer. Yeah, I mean, you could use alchemy. You could have alchemy as your second talent. Or, I mean, your second profession, you know? But I like having a gathering profession as a second because, see, if you go out and gather your herbs, you can just have a guildie, like, make your potions. Like, that's what I would do in on another server, is I would just farm all my herbs, and then I had a shaman in our guild that had alchemy, and I just give him all the stuff for, you know, for my mana potions or whatever I was farming for. So it's just like, you don't have to have alchemy for sure. There's nothing like specific that you get as an alchemist that makes it like necessary for you to take. What add-ons do I think will be allowed to help you level? Why is her pet level 32? Is that just a bug? I was thinking about attacking, but there's these guards, and I'm sure she was just going to kite into the guards, so we'll try and PvP a little further away from town. Yeah, if she runs back this way, I'll definitely kill her, guys. I just don't want to get the guards on me. There's a guard that patrols like up to around this point, I think. And sorry, to get back to your question, in terms of what add-ons do I think will be allowed to help level, I think most add-ons that like quest helpers and stuff like that, they'll be in the game come launch. I think there's already a few that are working partially. So it'll just be a kind of a matter of waiting and seeing. But I think the only add-ons that Blizzard will not allow are things that really break or change the classic like vanilla experience. Screw add-ons. Yeah, there's a few that are really nice to have. I normally play with very few add-ons. The one add-on that like I love is Luna unit frames, because it kind of does it all. You can see an enemy cast bar with that. You get better, or you can see your dots on the enemy, and you can see any other buffs and stuff that's important to be able to track that way. What's my played? No idea. Let's check. 2 days, 15 hours. Yeah, Luna is just like super nice to have. Other than that, like there's not a huge amount of add-ons that you really need, but some are just nice. Like there's a lot of different battleground add-ons that are nice. Like doing Alterac Valley without like a AV timers is pretty challenging, to be honest. Just because you're constantly having to ask other people in your group like the time on towers and things like that. So that's a good one to have. Yeah, there's just like little ones here and there. I'm not one of those people that like clutters their whole screen with add-ons though. Duskwood, I remember watching a guild attack the World Dragon there in my first weekend of playing. Yeah, it's like it's those kind of crazy epic things that definitely stick out in your mind. You guys know if they are allowing procs for Druid in Classic? What are you meaning, like proc abilities or something? If you're talking like weapon enchants and things like that, some obviously will work, and then there's others that won't. Normally, if it's like on a weapon, like a weapon, like on weapon swing or weapon hit, it won't work. But if it's on like a chance on hit kind of thing, those will work. So I don't know if that answers your question. I mean, this was kind of one-sided because they had no mana, but whatever. All's fair in world PvP. Let's hit him with a rank 1 Moonfire. Let him die to the croc. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Actually, I think they feigned death and then died to my dodge, so I think they're safe. Yeah, so like Crusader or so, yes. So Crusader should only proc off of weapon swing, so it shouldn't work for Druid, whereas something like okay, now we might die just because of the mobs. I mean, we'll beat her because we have NS, but God, whatchamacallit would be nice at this point. Barkskin. Where are you going, little girl? But yeah, sorry. Crusader won't work. I have not tested it yet. It'll be something that we can test if we can get to higher level, but it should never work. The only thing that would work is things like... Okay, now we're We can run from her, though. Do we have any potions? Yeah, we have 1 mana potion. World PvP out here is a little bit challenging though with the higher level mobs. We don't have time to stop and drink though. They're determined though, they're coming. I mean, our regen will slowly get us there. Should we, what do you think, guys? I'm gonna try and stop and drink behind this. Can she see me? I wonder if this is actually considered LOS. If this is actually considered this LOS, it's good. If not, if she can, okay, we're good, we're good. Okay, we win now. Okay. Oh, it's only 4 seconds at this level? Oof. Okay, 2, we're running again. And we're running. Ah, my auto run didn't work. Go cat. At this level there's really no point. It's so mana intensive and it's not gonna help me out in any way. I don't have Furor, so I'm not starting with any energy. Yeah, no point in going cat at this level. Can you stealth in vanilla? Yeah, for sure. Am I stacking int for PvP? Yeah, pretty much just trying to get as big of a mana pool as we can get at this level. Druid versus Hunter in World PvP is epic to see. Yeah, it is. It's a fun fight for sure. Not as much fun when you've got 2 on you. Oh, she's taking a little shortcut. I don't know if the other one followed. If the other hunter followed... Yeah, she's following us. No, wait. No, that's her pet. That's her pet. I don't know. I think the other hunter left. Okay, we're good. I thought that gorilla was hers, but it was just a mob chasing her. Okay, we're now. We have a potion, so we'll potion in NS if we need to. Okay, should be good now. She should die to those dots. Can't bandage with the dots on you, girl. Okay, let's go to the arena because we got to. Yeah, hunters are not that strong at this level because their trap only lasts for like 5 seconds, which is actually crazy. At 60 it lasts so long that they're able to get like a full drink off, like full food drink. So that was content. Yeah, we're out here, we're doing stuff. Oh, it's already 350. Okay, once we get down to Gurubashi, we're gonna see how it is. Okay, they're both there. Wait, this is a new hunter too. There's 3 Night Elf hunters. Oh boy. See, this is the strength of druids though. At this level it's crazy, because even at like level 60, say they're getting out of combat and then they mount up, the good thing is like as soon as they get to you, you can just root them on their mount, or you can just run. It's pretty crazy. Run, Forest, run. Yeah, I pissed off the night elf, the female night elf hunter squad. It's a very large organization in WoW. Okay, but what I was going to say before they attacked me, guys, is I do have to go to the gym. I'm going to work out for like an hour right before the stress test. So when I get back from the gym, I'll definitely stream the stress test, but I'll probably be offline for about an hour. Oh my lord. Okay. The problem, yeah, we're just dead here. Let's at least try and get as close there as we can, because then we can just res again. At least the graveyard's like right here. What? Oh, I thought there was a graveyard right here. Is that later? I think that's later. For 19, Twink, Hunter, Bow of Plunder, or Venom Strike. Also, Orc or Troll. Bow of Plunder is the best that you can get on Horde side. Stream the workout? I wish. I don't have any like setup for that. I should do that though. That'd actually be fun. And you guys aren't gonna believe this, but so probably a lot of you are familiar with bodybuilding.com, right? Well, bodybuilding.com, it looks like he's actually here too. They are based out of the city that I live in. So I actually go and work out at their corporate office gym because I know someone that works there and they can let me in. So I actually work out at bodybuilding.com. So they're always like filming commercials there or doing photo shoots or whatever, but their gym is super nice. And they have free pre-workout, post-workout, like they have protein powder there that you can have for free and everything. It's really nice. I'm actually super lucky to be able to get there or to go there. Female Night Elf Hunter is probably most hated enemy. Yeah, I think them and like gnome mages are the things that I hate the most. What do you think about a Swiftman resto spec for PvP? May I send you a talent calculator link? Yeah, for sure, send me it. I think I have links enabled. But yeah, I mean, Swiftman's definitely good. At the early parts of the game, it's going to get kind of mana expensive, but it's definitely stronger as the phases go on. Sorry, that was my phone reminding me about the gym. Let's take a look here. Okay, we're going to we'll stealth here and then try and sneak by, I guess. Because I think Sony has a group that's up here. Because I want to help. Or am I in their group still? No, why does he have a... Let's look at these talents. $13,034. I would drop the 3 and improve thorns. I don't think that's super necessary. I also wouldn't worry about I actually have never played with improved entangling roots. I'm trying. This is why I need raid frames for this shit. Here, let's just do that. That's as good as it's gonna get. I couldn't get an invite. Maybe they're full. Or he probably just didn't see my whisper, to be honest, because he's streaming right now. Man, this is the reason why Classic is so good. I actually can't wait to see what happens with the stress test, guys. Like, hopefully most of you got in it, and I think they're just gonna do a huge like level 5 man raid. Okay, we need to get out of combat so we can drink. But yeah, overall this build looks good. I would drop... Let me just try and edit this here. Just not having feral charges like can be pretty detrimental. But yeah, if you swap some points around and you're able to pick up Feral Charge. That's probably what I would go with. But it looks pretty good overall. What spec do I use for leveling? Full Feral. So I just go deep Feral for leveling. If you're leveling with a group, maybe you want to use like put points into Omen of Clarity, so then when you get a proc in cat form or something, you can always pop out and get a free heal on your party member or whatever. But I skip the points in Roots and Thorns and build 8, 11, 32 build. Yeah, that's a common flag running build. So that's kind of what I would go with. I think just Feral Charge is really strong from both getting away from people and then also being able to close distance or interrupt spells. It's just really, really good all around. And the good thing is at level 60, swapping forms isn't quite as costly as it is at like level 30 or lower levels. So you can use it a little bit more like readily. 2 minutes, yeah, we're almost there. It's about time. I need invite. These these unit frames do actually look a lot cleaner than they do in vanilla, so I like that actually. No, you don't need to remake your character. Are you talking for the next phases? If World PvP goes... If the beta is anything to go by, World PvP is going to be really entertaining, even if it's kind of pointless at the start. Yeah, I agree. I think that's why, you know, a lot of people say stay away from streamer servers. Honestly, I think streamer servers might actually be kind of the way to go, because you have a lot more of like events like this that kind of happen naturally because someone's a streamer. But you know, I could be wrong. Did it spawn? No, it's not. It's not spawned yet. Should we try and ninja? Oh. Okay, guys. As soon as this chest despawns, I have to go because I'm gonna be late to go to the gym. But like I said, I'm gonna be back in like an hour, and I'll turn my stream on for the stress test. Hopefully, you guys can all get in. Ninja kill soda. Here, it's gonna spawn soon. Wouldn't that be hilarious if we got it? Where is the goblin? That'd actually be so funny. I'm sure there's other stealth around here though. You saw some rogues, yeah. Like I said, I'm sure there's some. There's rogues next to me. We'll wait. We won't go right away. Is it worth to go deep feral for world PvP at 30? Not for 30. You're going to get destroyed. You don't have any kind of like so as a rogue at 30, you have kidney shot and things like that, like vanish. Whereas like as a druid, you don't have anything for cat form, and it's so costly to switch that it's just not really worth it. Really, the only spec that you could go is some kind of like balance or resto at 30. I know I can't open it in caster form though. I mean in cat form, so.
That's the great discovery. See? We're really unimportant after all.
See, I knew it. He's gonna get it. Zulace is actually gonna get it, I think. What a nightmare. Let's see if we can actually... Did it already get... Okay, it looks like someone got it. I wonder who it was. Can we see loot? No, because we're not in the party. That's actually hilarious. Okay, guys, I have to go to the gym. I'm actually already late. So I'm gonna host Bobka, who's probably doing some World PvP or something fun. Go check him out, and I'll be back in like an hour, like I said. See you guys. Thanks for watching.